Hi guys, so this week's Top 5 Wednesday is Top 5 Audiobooks, and yeah, this one was really easy.
Audiobooks are something that I didn't really do until probably the last few years. I don't know, I never had an interest in them, and then you made this really good point to me one day where it's like when you're sick, you just want someone to read to you.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I was like deathly ill and I just lay there and listened to the Hunger Games all freaking day.
I'd like walk in and like give you Gatorade and that was about it. So yeah, audiobooks. I started listening to audiobooks at work.
Yeah, it's great when you don't, like, you're sewing or you're just doing something you don't have hands, you know, just audiobook and go.
Yeah, so these are our top 5 audiobooks. They're not in any particular order. And yeah, take us away, Chelsey.
First one first is one I listened to recently. It was The Martian. And this was so good. I was on a trip in Turkey listening to this, and just, you said it might have been Will Wheaton. I don't know, but it probably was. But just the humor and the way, you know, he's like just telling you his story in the book, right? So having an audiobook totally makes sense, because he's just like, and on this day I did this and this and this. But you know, when you do this, and he's explaining all the science to you, and then he's like, well, shit. Like, so it just, the way the story was told and then the way the narrator reads it to you really works well together. And the story's just fun and amazing, so that's a plus.
I really want to listen to it because I read it and I had a lot of friends who were like, yeah, you know, it's good to read, but then it's also good to listen to because it's a completely different experience.
Yeah.
Next on the list is something that I listened to this year when I was working at the CNE. CNE is a fair, so when I'm setting up in the morning, I like to listen to audiobooks, and that was because everyone I know was screaming at me to like read this book, The Lies of Locke, Lamora by Scott Lynch, and the production on this audiobook, I don't know if it was partly because I was really overtired, just like blew me out of the water, because the person reading to it gives it to you in this almost Shakespearean delivery, and it's just like everything is epic.
But really in the story.
And it matches with the story because it kind of has almost like the narration is like this kind of, I was thinking like Venetian masks, and that's how he pronounces words, and that kind of matches the setting of the world. And then like all the characters, he does different voices, and it was so much fun. I've totally gotten all the other audiobooks because I'm thinking I'm just gonna listen to them because it was so much fun.
Next on the list is The Starship Titanic by Douglas Adams. Now, way back in the day, when I was maybe like 12, we went on a long trip to PEI, and my mom's like, let's get audiobooks, and I don't think I'd ever heard an audiobook in my life to this point, so we got a tape deck.
We're going back pretty far.
Put some batteries in it, took it in our minivan, and we put in Douglas Adams' Starship Titanic. And out of all the audiobooks we had picked up to listen on this trip, this one is probably the most memorable because it is just so freaking funny. I think it was read like almost like a radio play, so you'd have like different people doing different voices, but then you have the script, which is just like Douglas Adams' humor. And they're on this abandoned ship, and it's like there's things going on like a talking bomb. So the bomb's like, counting down now, 1, or like 10, 9, and then the girl would be like, oh, bomb! And the bomb would be like, fuck, I lost my place again. So you just get this amazing, like, really funny play that worked so well as an audiobook. So if you can find it, possibly on tape, go listen to it.
The next on the list is totally one that I talk about all the time, but the audiobook is also really fun, and that is Johannes Cabal the Detective, and this is the audiobook that if I'm sick, I will listen to. If like I'm doing stuff at work and I don't want to listen to music, I'll listen to because I can pick it up anywhere. And the guy who's reading it, I think it's Richard Sachs, is freaking hilarious. Like, because he tries to do all the voices. I mean, his Leone voice is kind of awful, but he has the type of voice that matches the humor, and it's just so much fun, and he kind of breathes life into the characters, and I just love it so much.
The last one on the list is Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. And now, I don't know what it's like to actually read the book because I only listened to the audiobook, but the Warm Bodies book has like such a like a flowing like melody, and it's kind of dreamlike, and the person that they got to read this does a really good job with like that. Like he just kind of like lulls you into the sense, so you get like the sense of landscape and like scale, and it's just he kind of just paints this world with the sound of his voice and the way R is thinking. So when I read it, I really kind of like fell in love with like the way the language is in the book, and having it read to me was really big.
So yeah, those were our top favorite 5 audiobooks. What are your top favorite 5 audiobooks? Have you listened to any of the ones that we spoke of? While we were doing this list, I remembered just randomly about how you mentioned tape decks, so I was thinking about my tape deck and how I used to take out from the library the Lemony Snicket books, and they were read by Stephen Fry.
Oh, that would be really good.
So yeah, that's another kind of honorable mention, but yeah, audiobooks are great.
Okay, so see you later.